What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check updates, the two new upcoming packages, part one, the physical infrastructure package, and part two, the next stimulus package, as well as what is going on with our country and what is going on in Washington, D.C. today. If you're new to the channel or if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. I will keep you up to date with everything going on in our country. In this video, we're going to go over new stimulus items that has money available right now that you can claim, as well as a contaminated chicken recall that could make you sick that you probably need to know about, as well as one state's stimulus money that they're actually asking their own residents what they should do with the stimulus money and how they should spend it. We got a lot in this video that we're going to get into right now, so let's go. Okay, first up, the major chicken company Tyson has just expanded their chicken recall over possible listeria contamination. Nearly 500,000 additional pounds of Tyson Foods chicken are being recalled over fears that it could be contaminated with harmful bacteria. Yeah. So if you have chicken from Tyson Foods, yeah, it might have listeria in it. Yeah, Tyson Foods says they're recalling more than almost 9 million pounds of ready-to-eat chicken products that may be adulterated with listeria monocytogenes, the USDA says in an updated notice Thursday. Tyson Foods says details of this recall were updated to reflect additional date codes and an increase in product poundage from approximately 8,492,832 pounds to approximately 8,955,296 pounds. They said the recall products listed here, you can Google this article on Fox Business if you wanted, were produced at a Dexter, Missouri plant between December 26, 2022 and an April 13th, 2021 facility. The products bear the establishment number ESTP708 number on the bag. Yeah, so if you have this, you might want to take it back to the store for a refund. Some of the major stores that sell this are Walmart, Wegmans, Publix, and H-E-B, all of which sell Tyson Foods. That's just a sample, as obviously they are sold across the country. Haiti, who has just had their president assassinated like a day ago, has requested U.S. security forces to guard their infrastructure amid turmoil. There's been conflicting reports on whether or not the U.S. plans to offer military support. On one hand, a senior Biden administration official told Reuters that there were no plans to provide military assistance at this time. But White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said Friday that senior FBI and Department of Homeland Security officials would be dispatched to the country. She also said that the U.S. would be providing financial resources. Also, the G20, which is an expansion of the G7, has come to a tax deal that took 8 years to actually come to that establishes a global minimum corporate tax rate of 15% to deter multinational corporations from shopping around for the lowest tax rate. This will make a 15% global corporate minimum tax of 15%. As you can see here, the pact would establish a global minimum corporate tax of at least 15% to deter multinational corporations from shopping around for the lowest tax rate. It would also shift the way that highly profitable multinationals such as Amazon and Google are taxed, basing it partly on where they sell the product and services rather on the location of their headquarters. This is actually a good change for the United States. This means a lot of corporations, they do this, they sell goods in the United States and they say, oh, well, wait a minute. Our corporation's headquarters are in another country, so we're going to pay tax in that country, and their corporate tax rate is 0% or 1% or 2%. So we're not going to really pay US corporate tax rate and we're going to get a foreign tax credit. So, yeah, we're not going to pay any US corporate taxes. So, yes, this will probably change that. This will make it. And so, just to be clear, this minimum 15% minimum corporate tax rate, that is a little bit confusing to some people, because here's why. So there's a couple different things floating around. President Biden wants to actually do a minimum corporate tax rate here because, and this is where it can get a little bit confusing. Number one, we have a 21% tax rate. It used for corporations. It used to be 35% when former President Trump lowered it from 35% down to 21%. President Biden wants to raise it from 21 to 28, but we're not sure if he's going to be able to do that. There's even some Democrats, like Senator Joe Manchin, that's not even for that. He said he's be willing to do it to 25%. We will probably see that if he's going to be able to do that in this next infrastructure package. Okay. They also want to do what's called a minimum tax rate, where we see companies like Amazon and Nike and like 10% of the corporate Fortune 500 that make billions of dollars and pay $0 in federal corporate taxes, largely because of this new rule change that is going to possibly make these corporations pay taxes on where they sell the goods. So you sell an iPhone in the United States, you pay the tax in the United States. Now, this is not sales tax. Sales tax is different than profit tax, federal tax. Okay. I get a question all the time. How can Amazon pay $0 in federal tax? They made 11. The most notable reference I always reference is this one: is Amazon paid $0 in federal tax on $11.2 billion in profit one year. I think it was 2019. And this goes on for multiple companies. It's not just Amazon. And in fact, from 2009 to 2018, they had $26 billion in profit and paid an effective federal tax rate of 3%. Yeah, 3%. So President Biden wants to raise taxes on corporations like this because they're making billions of dollars paying no taxes. They want to use this to be able to pay, for stimulus checks, stimulus packages, and infrastructure packages, and just be able to pay for things in general. These corporations are making billions of dollars and not paying anything or paying very little. Now, note that this is federal income tax. This is different than sales tax. So when you buy something from Amazon, they charge you sales tax. That's different. The sales tax goes directly, it's basically Amazon collects it and it goes directly to the government. Okay. That's different than Amazon paying federal income tax. Okay. Income tax different than sales tax. Okay. Now, one of the proposals that is different than them raising the corporate tax rate from 21% to 28% is also doing a minimum tax rate in the US of 15 or 10%. Okay. This is different because we see companies like Amazon, you've seen there that for 10 years from 2009 to 2018, even though that sounds like 9 years, it's actually 10 years. They want to have a minimum tax rate that say if you pay $0 in tax and you make billions of dollars, they'd have all sorts of stipulations in there that you would actually have to pay a minimum tax rate of 10 or 15%. That is one of the proposals, although that's a less likely proposal. I actually think that would be the better of the proposals than just raising the tax rate. Because here's why: if these corporations are actually making billions of dollars, if you made $11.2 billion and paid $0 in taxes, does it really matter if they raise the tax rate from 21% to 28%? In fact, back then the tax rate was actually 35%. So it really wouldn't have mattered if the tax rate was 35% or 28% because they paid $0 in tax either way. Now, it would have made a huge difference if they had a minimum tax of 15%, because then they would have had to pay 15% no matter what. Because then there's basically, hey, if you make $1 billion as a floor and they have a minimum tax, then that minimum kicks in and says, nope, you have to pay 15% minimum. Now, all of a sudden, you have to pay 15% minimum of whatever you make. All of a sudden, boom, you have to pay $1 billion of $10 billion. That That would be a very good thing for the country because then you would see companies actually paying their fair share, 15%. Now you would have people on the other side of the coin that would say, well, this would really hurt people in the long run because then you would have corporations that would not have money for jobs. They would not be able um, to have job growth, and they would not be able to take that money and hire more people. But on the other side of the coin, these companies are paying $0 in taxes. Yeah, I mean, you, again, I could personally make the argument for either side of the coin. That's why I don't consider myself a Republican or a Democrat, because I could sit here and argue the Democratic side or the Republican side. I could sit here and argue it for you guys and say, we really need more stimulus checks. We really need to help out people in need. And then I can also sit here and argue with you for the Republican side and could say, well, we got the national deficit. We really shouldn't spend more money. We really should be fiscally conservative. I mean, I could really sit here and argue either side of the coin. And the same thing goes for you with taxes. It's like you really could say, well, corporations, if you tax them, they won't have money to hire more people, and will stifle economic growth. But on the other side of the coin, you could say, well, Jimmy, they paid $0 in taxes, bro. We're like, come on, they got to pay something. I mean, you can't have a company making $11 billion and paying zero in taxes. I mean, come on, we're talking about zero. So I do kind of think that the 15% minimum tax rate is a good idea. But note that that is different than the 15% minimum tax rate that the G20 is doing. They're talking about a corporate tax rate that is 15% as the minimum rate. Remember, our corporate tax rate is actually 21%. So it's a little bit different there. Let me know your thoughts on this. Do you think that corporations should have a minimum tax rate of 15%? Or do you think it would stifle economic growth? Do you think they wouldn't have money to hire jobs? Again, I think you're right either way. It's really a difference of opinion. Or do you think they should pay their fair share of taxes? There's not really a right or wrong situation. It's more of your opinion. Because again, I could argue either way. It's not really a yes you're right, yes you're wrong type of thing. It's just where do you think the money should be spent? Do you think the corporations should keep the money and not pay any taxes and use it for what the corporations think, or do you think they should pay some type of taxes and then that can be used for infrastructure packages and stimulus packages? And then you can almost argue that, well, any money that you give to the government, is you give money to the government and you know how that goes. Again, there's almost no right or wrong answer. Well, speaking of giving money to the government, the city of Saginaw, Michigan is looking for community. All right. All right, let me just start that over because that page just decided to refresh on me right in the middle of me speaking. Saginaw, Michigan is looking for community input on how to spend their federal stimulus money. This comes from the $350 billion with a B that is going out to states, cities, and counties. Remember, states, cities, and counties are all getting their own share of stimulus money from the third stimulus check package. And this city is looking to their own residents on how to spend the stimulus money. Check this out.
Having some trouble deciding how to spend its federal stimulus money, all $52 million of it. They're seeking input from the community. Thanks for watching the news at 10 tonight. I'm David Custer. Meg is off. TV5's James Felton spoke with a city council member about how the money could be spent.
Definitely a good problem to have. Definitely an exciting problem to have.
Saginaw Council member Annie Bench talking about $52 million in federal stimulus money the city will receive. The funds will arrive in two $26 million installments, one this year, one in 2022. City leaders have to decide how to spend it by December 2024. Bench tells us Saginaw has never had a federal grant this large, and it will come with rules on how it can be spent. Bench says plans are underway for a strategic planning meeting that will most likely take place in mid to late September.
We'll be able to share with the public a little bit more of what we know and hopefully, during that period, we'll learn a little bit more of what the citizens' priorities are. And we can take those priorities and kind of compare them to what those rules end up being and see what ways we can support those needs.
We also spoke to a few residents to find out what they think city administrators should do with the money.
Tearing down some of these old buildings that shouldn't be here.
On crime. Too much crime in this city, man. I can't take it no more.
I think it would be a wise investment to improve road safety, public safety issues, child care.
Bench says the money has the potential to transform the city. She wants residents to reach out to city leaders and share their ideas if they haven't done so already. Bench tells us it's all part of making sure Saginaw gets this right.
It's very important to me that we make the most of this and maximize it, because we don't know that we'll ever get this kind of funding surplus again.
The money must be spent by December 2026. Reporting in Saginaw, James Felton, WNEM TV5.
Let me know how you think your state, city, or county should spend their fair share of the third stimulus check package money. As you've seen there, some of these states, cities, and county are going to get half their money up front. Some of them are going to be getting the other half of their money later on. They have to you're not in a high unemployment area, you're only going to get half of the money, your state, city, and county. Remember, cities, counties are going to get separate sets of money than your state, and the cities, counties get to spend their own money separately than their state. So state gets their own allotment of the money, counties get their own allotment of money, cities get their own allotment of the money, and they all get to decide what they're going to do with their own money. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. And as you've seen there, there's a long time frame for what they want to do with their money. And there is some provisions in here, especially for states, that they have to spend a portion of the money on residents. So we will see some programs like this one. For the state of California, this is the largest one. California is the largest state. As you see here, an estimated 2/3 of California's nearly 40 million residents are expected to receive a stimulus check of $600 under a new budget plan pushed forward by the state's Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom and was approved by lawmakers there about a week or two ago now. A $600 stimulus check to 2/3 of California's residents, which is about 26 or 27 million people. And they're using part of this as stimulus money from this. So yes, in fact, it goes out to people making up to $75,000 now. The first round was for Californians making up to $30,000. And if you have children now from the second round, you can actually get an additional $500 for a total of an $1,100 stimulus check. So yes, $1,100 stimulus check or $600 stimulus check, nothing to sneeze at. Pretty awesome. This is in addition to the 3 rounds of stimulus checks that came out from the federal government. So yes, pretty cool. New Jersey also has one they approved, but it's actually less than 1 million people. I've covered that on other videos. I'll cover that in some upcoming videos. We're going to hopefully see more and more programs like this, along with more mortgage and rental and property tax assistance. I will cover that in upcoming videos as well. I'll let you guys know about all sorts of different programs like this here in upcoming videos. I'll keep you up to date on everything. Remember, the third stimulus check program especially had a lot of different programs like this, as well as the internet credit that pays $50 per month off your internet bill or your cell phone bill. There's all sorts of little different programs like this, and there's going to be a lot more coming available as these states, cities, and counties decide how they want to spend their money. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. A lot of these states, cities, and counties are going to take their good old sweet time. And some states are quicker than others. I mean, New Jersey and California seem to be on the ball a little bit. The New Jersey one is actually only for a small amount of people. in relative. I mean, I know New Jersey is a much smaller state than California, but it's actually less than 1 million people. So New Jersey actually could see more in the future. We're actually going to see a lot of these programs in the future. A lot of these states, they have to get it approved by their state council. They have to have voting. They have to even sometimes have voting by their actual states, like they put it on the ballot and stuff like that. So I get a lot of people saying our state will never do this. Our state's going to build the wall in Texas. And that might be the case. But a lot of these states are using their own budget money, like the money from their state budget, not necessarily their stimulus money. And also remember that their stimulus money is coming in two allotments. So they might be getting their allotment later on this year. So just be aware that be optimistic. My whole theme of this channel is be optimistic, be upbeat. My motto in life is that, listen, I'm walking around. I've had vertigo for like 2 months. I'm literally sitting here dizzy, trying to figure out. I've had MRIs, brain scans. I'm sitting here in back pain every day. My wife's in kidney pain every day, on pain pills every single day. She literally is in tears and crying a lot of days because of how much pain she's in. Yet here we are making videos every single day. Just every day, our motto in life is, listen, you have one life to live. Be positive. We could just be sitting here, just be negative Nellies every day singing, hey, life's terrible. Instead, we're here upbeat, positive, saying, hey, you've got one life to live. Think positive. Instead of thinking about the negative, think about the positive. Think, hey, the sun's shining today. Life could always be worse. So that's my motto in life. That's my little bit of motivation for you guys today. Let me know your thoughts. We're coming out of a pandemic, hopefully, slowly but surely. Like, hey, or at least we're not in a lockdown. Slowly but surely, we're coming out of this thing. Slowly but surely, things are getting a little bit better. And hey, I'm here with you guys every day. I'll have Julian on later for you guys here at some point. But yeah, I mean, that's my motto in life. Take it with a grain of salt. Is that I really think that if you look at life through a rainbow, that life will be a little bit easier for you. Yep, that's my thoughts. Let me know yours. I'll keep you guys updated with everything going on in our country and what is going on with stimulus too. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. You can click this bottom video about different stimulus check programs that are sending out checks in July, August, and September. You can click this video here to watch my newest video about President Biden's Social Security raise. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.